when you cross your own values, that's when we feel this frustration, this anger inside our stomach. Like, have you ever felt like infuriated because someone's done something and you don't quite know why you're so angry, but they've probably crossed a value of yours?
100%. Because you don't think about them. And if you don't know them, then you are going to have that anxious feeling, and you're not going to understand why you have that anxious feeling. The number one that came out was self-worth, opportunity to grow.
Yeah. And you never wanted to be stuck in a stagnant environment.
No, we can't. 1% better daily.
Everybody, welcome back to the Thoughtonomy Podcast, where we like to get you to think for yourself in a world that wants to do it for you. I got a very special guest here, as I do every single time, but Gordon Reid, really, so cool to have you with us today. I'm looking forward to this chat, but I'm going to let Gordon tell you first, and then I'm going to tell Gordon what ChatGPT says about him. All right, let's see if it's right. We'll put ChatGPT on the spot. Thank you for being here.
Pleasure.
Who is Gordon Reid? Let everyone know.
Proud Durbanite, husband, father to two beautiful girls. Simone and I have been together 30 years this year. I am also a Discovery financial advisor, almost 5 years now, and I'm a serial extremist and philanthropist, and I'm addicted to giving back to society because, as we say in BNI, givers gain.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm going to put my glasses on now. And I'm going to read to you.
We're of that age.
And anyone listening out there, by the way, we all advised to go and search ourselves on ChatGPT and find out what is said about us. But I said, who is Gordon Reid? And I had to get through a few international Gordon Reids before I said, no, from Durban, South Africa. Gordon Reid, financial advisor, Discovery, done. Number 2, Gordon Reid, the philanthropic Superman of Durban North. Known locally as Gords, this Durban North resident is celebrated for his readiness to help in any emergency, whether rescuing plane crash victims or evacuating hotel guests with a fire. And then it does mention their absolutely devotion as a husband and father. So that's Gordon Reid. And I said to you off camera, we're not going to get into any specific conversation other than I always want to know the story behind the man. And for anyone who looks at Gordon Reid from the outside, you just do everything. Like, there's I don't say it's something different because that sounds like you're chopping and changing, but you just get involved in so many things. And there's a general theme of doing good for community, raising money for others. Where does it all come from?
I think when you get involved in something like that, you naturally get attracted, or people are attracted to you to do more wonderful things. Yeah. So classic example, obviously I got involved with CHOC age 40 after I'd had 5 operations and saw a friend of mine cycling in a cow suit.
Just explain quickly CHOC to anyone who's out there that doesn't know.
CHOC is children's hematology and oncology clinics. So they've essentially got houses near big government hospitals where parents can go and stay while the kid is having cancer treatment. And
famous for their association to the cow.
To the cows, yeah. So I got involved with them because I saw a friend cycling in a cow suit, and I said, like, what are you doing after my 5 operations? And she said, no, we raise money for children with cancer with the cows. And I thought, well, that looks like fun. So I started off on that journey, and turns out I was quite good at raising money, and since then it's just snowballed. Yeah.
What are your most popular initiatives that you get involved with?
Sure. So CHOC I did work for about 7 years, and I've since kind of I've stopped doing work for them, and I do more for conservation at the moment. There's a massive theme this year. Ran Comrades for Honorary Rangers, because I really, we've got protect the rhino, protect the pangolin, protect the elephant, protect the blue-bummed squirrel, monkey, whatever. But it's actually the guys on the ground, the guys and girls on the ground who are doing the conserving. We've got so many endangered species in South Africa. I do believe that tourism can save South Africa or help save South Africa. So I really wanted to honor them. So Comrades for Honorary Rangers, SANParks. We did run for Rangers 2 weeks ago, which was 100 kilometers through Babanangu Game Reserve, and that is running with the Rangers, and we're raising money specifically for them through an amazing initiative called Sports for Lives and Project Rhino. And then next, in 5 weeks' time, I've got Rhino Peak Challenge, which the money goes towards Endangered Wildlife Trust.
So it's honestly, it's never ending with you, is it? There's always something that your wife must go, geez, Gords, what's next?
Yeah, she does try and slow me down, I must be honest, and it's probably not a bad thing.
But there was a concerted, I mean, I've known you for many, many years now. There was a concerted shift in your life around fitness. Do you want to talk us through that?
So I was pretty fit. I was playing good squash and whatnot, and out of the blue, aged 40, I had 5 operations. So 2 sinus ops, 2 ops on my kidneys where they found things that shouldn't have been there. And then I tried to cut my hand off by mistake. So I kind of said, no, I want to get really fit. And that's when I saw this friend cycling in a cow suit. And I said, well, what's this all about? She says, no, we do events. And that's kind of how I've formed a bit of an identity as an average guy doing extreme challenges. And that's driven me to really put some fitness on or focus on health. Also, my dad was 53. I'm 53 next year. So I think that was one of the biggest driving factors too, because he was 53 when he had open heart surgery, which was hectic. You know, we thought, flip, especially when you're younger, you think you're mortal. But it's a quick life lesson when you see friends and family going through life-changing events. So I joined the cows, and there was a guy there who said, no, he was going to do a half Ironman, and I think that was the start of it. So when I realized at that stage that I could do anything I put my mind to, and maybe that's why I still like doing all of these things, is because it really gives you mental fortitude to do the tough things, whether it be work, whether it be a family challenge, whether it be an extreme silly event. Just
that's quite a powerful place to operate from. It's the fundamental basis of the book, Thoughtonomy, is we are responsible for everything and we have the power to make different choices at any given time. But very few of us actually believe it. You know, we're always battling with the self-doubt and the self-judgment and the insecurities, etc., etc. Was it for you one event that switched for you, or going through one of these extreme adventures? Because it's quite a contradiction, by the way. Average guy doing extreme things. I don't believe you can be an average guy and do extreme things. So you're not an average guy, okay? Because I can't say you don't do extreme things. So I've got to take one of those out of the equation if it's contradicting. You're not an average guy. If you believe that you can do anything, you cannot be an average. You'll never be average. But what was
above average?
Okay, above average. What was the trigger? Was it one event, or was it the confidence from doing it multiple times?
It's hard to say 12 years later, because you know, when you choose to do something like Comrades, and I mean, that's a flippant event. When you choose to do it, but to have the confidence, and definitely, I think all of them have instilled belief in myself that I can then do anything. So that's around the Thoughtonomy side, is many little challenges and overcoming them, but banking that memory and changing that neurological mindset that you can do anything.
But it's take Comrades, for example. It's easy to say, I can do anything, but I've also got to be prepared to go and do the work to put myself in a position to say that I can do it. Because I can't just say, I can do Comrades, I believe it, and I'm going to go and do it. I've got to go and put the 1,000 hours minimum of running, training time in. And then on the day, I've also got to have the resilience to know that it's going to be flipping difficult, and I'm going to want to quit 7 times. How many times did you ever consider stopping the Comrades?
No.
So that was your first attempt and you nailed it, eh?
Yeah, exactly. So that's it, one and done.
Yeah.
Seeing your daughters crying with pride on the side of the road.
I saw that video. I think we all cried.
Really, it's just okay.
Yeah. Did you see them multiple times through the trip?
I saw them 5 times. So I was very lucky. I seconded my wife and her friend when they did theirs back in 2016. And so her and her husband, who's also one of my besties, took my girls and my wife, and so they knew the route and knew where to come and whatnot, and I kind of knew where they were going to be, and we were in communication. Obviously, I had my phone on me because we have to film these things.
It's not on Facebook or social media. You didn't do it, right?
And if it's not on Strava, you didn't either. So that there was never a thought in my mind that I couldn't do it. Funny enough, more so in Run for Rangers, I considered a couple of times, because there's the excuse, you can climb on the vehicle, it's fine. But when you've told all of your donors, who I seriously need to thank for their generosity, because we had to raise 40,000 Rand to enter that race, you do it. But another couple of secret weapons I've got.
Your bracelets.
My bracelets.
Yeah.
So Paigey was my niece.
Yeah.
Paigey is my niece. She passed away in COVID year, in 7 weeks diagnosis to death. Beautiful, young, 17-year-old, healthy, fit, bubbly, kind person to go in 7 weeks. So I wear my bracelet, but I also write a lot of people's names on my arm. And I think I can remember at about 60 Ks where I was maybe thinking about quitting, is I look down and you just feel grateful. We're still alive. We're breathing. I can breathe. I can run. I can go to work. I can earn money. I can do things for my family.
One of my favorite quotes, I actually saw it when I was going through my running journey, which I don't do anymore. But it was bloody hard doing it at the time. And I saw something pop up on Instagram once going, it's not that you have to exercise, you get to exercise. Like so many people can't. So many people can't run or they don't have the ability to run. And you hear it every time now in the national stadiums when the rugby team's playing and they ask people to stand for the anthems. Have you noticed how they've changed? They used to go, please stand for the national anthem. If you are able to, please stand. They've changed that now. It's quite a stark reminder every time I hear that, is that we are blessed with ability, we are blessed with talents, and we are just blessed with movement and life. You don't have to exercise. You don't have to get up for work either. But you have the opportunity to do so.
To get up for work.
And you'll know, I mean, it's life-changing when you feel fit and healthy. And that goes back to one of the principles in the book, again, of putting yourself first. And for you, that's quite a shift, and it's been quite a shift. You call it your midlife crisis, but since your 40s, I mean, it's changed your life, hasn't it?
Yeah, I get to meet the most incredible people. I get to do the most incredible events. Run for Rangers is unbelievable. Comrades is next level crazy. When you've got, and 2 stories I'll tell about that is, it's almost unreal. I saw a grown man sharing his beer with a runner. They were different colors, which I think is even more beautiful, especially in our setting in South Africa. And I saw kids sharing sweets, but I saw thousands of people screaming my name and saying, "Come on, you've got this!" Like they were my best friend or my brother or my father or whoever. So I got to experience that, and I think that's what I love about this. Number one, you mentioned it earlier, is by signing up for these events, I have to do the training. So that's what I have. I have to get up in the morning to go and do the training. Like also
I've committed.
And
what you do so well, again, from here, is you announce what you're doing to the world.
Well, that's accountability.
It's universal accountability, 100%. Like I've done that a couple of times as well, because once you tell people you're going to do something, I certainly feel I'd be a poople if I didn't do it. Because now I've announced it, I can't be this big mouth. I'm going to do it. You do exactly the same. I think it's one of the most powerful things, as opposed to having a little goal in your mind and keeping quiet about it. Because then if you don't make it or achieve it, no one ever knows. So you haven't lost out, really.
I admire people who train for a marathon and go and do a marathon and don't tell anyone about it. But that's unfortunately not me.
No, and even if you announce it and you don't do it, but they can see that you've tried. Because the other element here to everything that you're doing is the inspirational side. Is that people are watching. And you don't know how many people are watching. Let's not talk about your kids who you're inspiring and teaching so many life lessons to just by what you're doing. But there's people out there who'll be scrolling through, and you're pretty active on social media, and there'll be people out there going, wow, I can do this.
Yeah, it's definitely part of the goal, is to try and inspire other people. We had our gala dinner for work 2 weeks ago, and something that really opened up my eyes. So our directors did a phenomenal job and in putting this production together. It was literally world class. But one of the things they did is they had the top table for the top sales agents. So we do a lot for Discovery. We one of 40 top brokerages in the country. We sell a large percentage of their insurance every single month. And these are generally people who are going through tough things, and I'm not saying I'm not. And I think the moral of the story here is that everyone has a story, and I love that. So I went and approached every single one of those people, and the 2 stories that stuck out to me: the one girl, top sales agent for our brokerage, and we do a lot. She said that her dad lost everything during COVID, and she earns, I wouldn't say the amount, but she earns a large amount of money every single month. But every cent goes to her parents.
Wow.
And she says for her, and she sees herself as like a normal South African, for her to be able to do that for her parents is like, that's her drive, that's her, and that she can now cater for her kid. And one of the other guys turned around and he said, I just want people to know my name. And it was amazing. So I think that what we took out of that, and I believe there was meant to be a prize for someone who had a story, and one of the leaders turned around and said, everyone's got a story. So all of us go through hardship. There's always someone doing worse than you.
Yeah.
So if you can get one person off the couch, if I can get one person off the couch to go and do a couch to 10K, like Startliners is starting up quite soon. A mate of mine, Maddie Wickham, I think it's the most wonderful program out there, as well as parkrun, all of these things. If you can go and do a parkrun every single week, and then you see your running get better, or if you can go and do a Startliners as a couch to 10 kilometers, do that and be inspired.
Yeah. Well, that's the hardest part with anything, is to start. So the early phase in anything, whether it's building a business, starting a career in a new place, starting a sales career, starting a diet, starting a running or exercise program, the hardest thing to do is to make that decision to cut your current momentum or lack of momentum, or lose your bad habits and shift into the new environment.
Absolutely.
Or shift into an environment where you're now improving. And even when you start, it's hard because momentum takes time to build up and you don't see any form of results. But once you have momentum, it's one of the most powerful assets that you can have. And then you don't want to lose it. So it's such a fine balancing act. And even in the sales environment, I always say to my guys, what you're struggling with today, it's what you didn't do 3 months ago. So do it today. And they always say, when's the best time to plant a tree? It was yesterday. When's the next best time? Right now. Because you're only going to see results in 3 months. But if you don't start today, then we'll make it 6 months. But that hardest decision is like, okay, I've got to change. I've got to do something different now. How's it infiltrated into other aspects of your life, whether it be work, relationships with kids or friends or wife or whatever?
Yeah, it's infiltrated into every single aspect of my life. And I also have to say, we were talking about turning points earlier, and you remember we mentioned it off air beforehand that you ran a competition on Facebook and I entered it, and you coached me. I think we had 6 sessions. One of the interesting things that came out of there was my values, and I want to touch on that just now. Because
I remember that. We took a photo of your values.
Yes,
remember?
I tried to find that photo. I must have deleted it.
I might actually have it.
I deleted it 6,000 photos last week because I was running out of memory. But it's infiltrated into every single part of my life. Okay. One of the things, one of my values was recognition. And I suppose touching on that too is recognizing the change. So you saying about making that decision and then finding that momentum, but then recognizing that you have made that change. And patting yourself on the back, so that you can carry on being driven.
So just to give everyone a bit of context, the work that we do in that sort of environment is getting somebody to definitively write down their top 5 to 6 personal values that they live by. So if I had to say to Gords, what is most important to you about business? Then we'd try and uncover his values in business. Or what is most important to you about love? We could get to a place where Gords will then have his top 5 values regarding love. And the importance of identifying and recognizing your values is because we always say when you know your values, decision-making becomes easier. Because if I know my values in business and I've got my 5 values ranking in order of importance, and if one of them is respect, and that's mine, by the way, number 1, respect. Not I want to be respected. As a human being, we need to be respectful of one another. It's that. So treat people with respect. And then vice versa, don't entertain disrespect from others. So if I'm dealing with a client who is giving me a really hard time and has gone to a level of disrespect, and I'm faced with a decision, do I keep the client and face the disrespect and tolerate it, or do I lose the client and stand by my values? The decision should be easy because I know my values.
Makes it black and white.
Yeah, and when you cross your own values, that's when we feel this frustration. It's this anger inside our stomach. Like, have you ever felt like infuriated because someone's done something and you don't quite know why you're so angry, but they've probably crossed the value of yours? So you're saying you found that quite significant, just
Huge.
understanding, because I remember the response, you were quite surprised at what came up, because we've got a process of getting there, but they were all spot on, weren't they?
100%. Because you don't think about them. And if you don't know them, then you are going to have that anxious feeling, and you're not going to understand why you have that anxious feeling.
How do you use it now in business or in life? Practically?
Well, I mean, I can tell you them. So the number one that came out was self-worth.
Okay.
So just saying you are enough.
Okay.
What you're doing is good enough. You like what you're doing. You're actually a good oak.
Yeah.
Might be an absolute idiot, but it does also buy me credibility when I go into a meeting.
Yeah.
And I think when you say how has it evolved into the rest of my life, a lot of the stuff that I do, because people see it as, okay, well, he must be a good oak. And I think that buys you a lot of credibility, which opens doors. Invites people to let people invite you to really interesting things and life experiences.
And also, if you're living life from a place of knowing your self-worth, you're living authentically as well. You don't have to pretend to be anybody else. And it's unfortunately sometimes when people aren't authentic and they try and portray or try and be something that they're not, that's when we can come across awkwardly.
And social media is not a great help with that, because people don't feel enough.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, they're on holiday again.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's probably they've saved for that holiday for 3 years.
Yeah.
Now you've got a feeling, we don't go on holiday enough, or whatever, or I don't exercise enough, or I don't work hard enough, or I'm not achieving what he's achieving. But that comparison is the thief of joy.
Absolutely. And also the flip side of that, and I see it with my guys on the sales side, I mean, I believe social media branding is powerful for just letting people know who you are. And they always go, no, but I don't want my friends to go, look at me on social. If you're being authentic on social media, if your posts are of such a nature that somebody can look at it and go, that's Gord's. Like, look what he's doing again. That's Gord's. They're never going to think that if you're being authentic. So my number one rule on social media, just be authentically you. Like, who are you? What do you love doing? And if you're posting about that, linked with your business somehow, then you're being yourself.
And people buy off people.
Yeah. What was number 2?
Opportunity to grow.
Yeah. And you never wanted to be stuck in a stagnant environment.
No, we can't. 1% better daily.
Yeah.
Really got to try and outdo yourself from the day before.
Yeah. And that also links into all these challenges. You're challenging yourself constantly. Is it working with the business?
Yeah, 100%.
So you found a place in business where you constantly growing.
Yeah, amazing opportunity that I was given 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Grown immensely. Changing careers at 47 is daunting enough. Starting to study again, or probably for the first time in my life at 47, that was pretty daunting. But
is this doing all your financial stuff?
Yeah. So I started off in the commercial insurance division, which I still love and I'm really interested in. But now learning the rest of the products, life, health, so important, especially life cover. If you don't have the assets and you need to look after kids, get it done. I mentioned to you earlier, my colleague passed away at 37 2 weeks ago. He's left a trail of sadness, which is terrible. As a financial advisor, that's what you're telling your clients every single day.
Yeah.
But you need to live that too.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Authentic.
What was number 3?
3 was money.
Okay.
I like the finer things in life. Yeah, 100%.
Okay. I mean, how many people say, I'm not in it for the money? You have to have money, right? But it can also be and it can be a negative if your value of earning money is too low.
Yeah.
That was me when I went and did this. So at that stage, I was coaching for free, talking for free. And my coach said, but that makes sense because look how low you've placed the value of money. You've placed it right down at the bottom. We have to value money. It sounds terrible, but we need money, right?
No one's apologizing for me being a capitalist. We want the finer things. We want to educate our kids in a decent varsity.
Yeah.
All of those things cost a lot of money. So, and it is important. We want the nicer things. I want my wife driving a safer car.
Yeah.
I want to live in a safer environment.
You want your kids to have the best opportunities, and you've got to provide them as well.
More than what you had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, money's important.
So 4 was giving honest advice and giving back, philanthropy.
Okay.
It's really important, I think, to, like I said, everyone's got a story, and our need in South Africa is massive. Can't help everyone.
And what's important here is I think a lot of people see the term philanthropist and they associate it with the billionaires of the world.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got so much money now that they can give away. But philanthropy doesn't have to come from the people who are loaded, right? Am I right?
Mm.
How do you see the use of that word?
So for me, and what I liked, and what I'm a visual learner, so I learned through experience, is I chose a charity and I put my heart and soul into it, and I saw the difference it made. So putting 2 rand in a tin at the petrol station doesn't really help.
Yeah.
Or giving a guy, and you did your begging at the traffic
light experience where I made 15 rand in 6 hours.
I'd say that doesn't help. Rather, if you like giving people money at the traffic lights, find a person and try and turn their life around. Is classic. I think a workable example. Try and make a difference in one person's life, because that person will then make a difference in another person's life, and then it spreads. Yeah. So choose a charity. If you love dogs and cats, happy days. There's plenty charities out there. I know of at least 3 off the top of my head that I could mention that do fantastic work. But more to that, I like finding charities, and that's why I maybe moved away from a tier 1 charity, CHOC or COWS, to these tier 2 and 3 charities, because they don't have the massive corporate sponsorship. And that's also important, is to see where the money's being spent, how it's being spent, be involved in how that's being spent. So I think that describes philanthropy a little bit more for me. Is choose a charity, see what you can do, whether you donate your time, whether you can raise money, whether you can ask 10 friends for stuff from their businesses, run a raffle, and then all of that money goes to the charity. Yeah. That's really
because also being in the position that you are, like you're in the spotlight as a philanthropist and a community man, you must get a lot of requests. I mean, you must have to say no a lot.
It's hard.
Which is it's very hard.
Yeah.
But I've always found if you're giving somewhere already, it's so much easier to say,
no, I'll give to
thank you. I can't help you. I'm already helping them, and I've only got so much resource. Yeah. It's hard saying no, though.
Don Bailey, my mate.
Don.
Funny story about him. He phones me because Run for Rangers has been going for 4 years now. So he phones me like 3 years ago. Gordon, I really need you to get involved. Harry, my son, has come up with this fantastic idea. We run 100 kilometers. We raise money. It goes to I said, geez, Don, that sounds great. But I've got a lot on this year, and I've already planned a lot for next year. So I've got to slot these things in. So again, it is easier to say no. Yeah. So I said, Don, next year, Trees Nuts, 1st of January. Gordon! I'm like, okay, Don, I'm in. So we just did our 2nd year and raised a ton of money. But I think it's something that we need to take to the international stage and grow even more. So again, choose a charity that you like, you believe in the cause, you know how the money is getting spent, and then get involved there and offer your time and your, I won't say expertise, network to try and grow it.
What was your 5th one?
Goal driven.
Changed these, by the way?
No,
they're exactly the same.
They're exactly the same.
So number 5 was goal driven.
Goal driven.
Okay.
And that, I think, I haven't focused enough on my work goals of late. Like, it's easy for an exercise goal. There's a deadline. There's a time limit. There's an amount of money that you need to raise. And I had a massive realization like three weeks ago, because I've just literally had my head down for the last 4.5 years. We've overcome a lot of challenges, but I've never really kind of put in stone that this is how much I want to earn, or this is how I'm going to get there. And I need to revisit that more often. But when I got this, I got Financial Advisor of the Year award at our gala dinner. I kind of said that.
When was this?
2 weeks ago.
Well done, man. Yeah. I don't know. Why is this not on social media? Did you put it on?
There's probably too much noise. You see too much coming out of me.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a massive accolade. And then I kind of sat there and I went, flip. And I looked and I've got we've got these shelves at work. We've moved into beautiful offices upstairs from Old Town Italy. And I've got these shelves and I've got a couple of different things up there. And I kind of thought, geez, okay, now I must go get my Comrades medal. And I went and I've got my Comrades medal. I've got my trophy for being Financial Advisor of the Year. And we won, thanks to Anime, funny enough, you mentioned, because she was president of BNI last year, my chapter. I'm president this year, and I've got a month and a half left, which I'm quite happy about, but it's been nice to be part of, always part of leadership, and to grow that and help people grow their businesses. But I put all of this up on the shelf, and my Run for Rangers little trophy and plaque and whatnot, and it's like, I've achieved all of that in the last 10 months. That's like flippin' awesome. And there it comes back to the recognition and kind of going, okay, wow. So I set my mind to do those things, but that's all of that I achieved. Okay, cool. What's next? Get excited about the next goal.
I 100% agree. And look, I still don't do enough of it, but what I've found in my experience in business is whenever I've written goals down, I've inevitably achieved them. It's the most unbelievable phenomenon, really. When you write them down, obviously you then commit to the actions behind it. But when you write it down and you speak about it out openly and you let people know that's what I'm going for this year, it's unbelievable how you tick them off.
So
but if you don't write them down, it doesn't. It's
I want to be a millionaire. Oh, I want this. I want that.
Yeah. But I think when I start talking about goals, I think people switch off. It's like probably the most boring topic to talk about, but it's probably the most important thing. And I said it in a podcast last week. I was doing a podcast with Clinton Shum, and he actually surprised me. I sat down, and Clint, if you're listening, you surprised me. I sat down and he did a quick like role play. He was like, right, Grant, I'm disillusioned. Help me. And he was genuinely disillusioned. So coach me, basically what he was saying. And straight away I go to my same place. I was like, well, I can't coach you if I don't know what you want. Like, what do you want? What is the goal? What is the number? What is the dream? What is the ideal? What is your perfect happiness? What are you striving for? If you don't know that, you can't start the journey.
If you don't know your values either. So
and there's
as important.
Yeah, as a Canadian coach, Richard Robbins, he always said, most people aim for nothing and hit it with amazing accuracy. Powerful, eh? Yeah. So that's, goals, so important. Boring to talk about, but hey, it's your starting place.
Yeah, it's your story. It's your what you want to achieve.
Yeah. So looking back over the last 5 years.
Our training session opened up my eyes. Wasn't focusing on it too much, but literally just put my head down and proud of what I've achieved. Turned our lives around. It's been unbelievable. Even the last 12 years of my healthy midlife crisis. But the last 5 have been incredible. I mean, I had a really good top sales job in the UK when we lived there, and working in IT recruitment, earning more than what most of my mates are still earning there now. And came back and kind of put the blinkers back on again, almost. But my healthy midlife crisis and my training through Thoughtonomy, I actually did another course with Anime in December last year. Just to refresher, and I keep that book, and I need to read Thoughtonomy again since you gave me my last copy. It's.
If I can sum up that, and I'm obviously not going to go into detail of what we spoke about, but I remember you at the time, you were faced with an opportunity, a business opportunity, and you were really in a place of fear of, if I get this wrong, I'm done. I remember you saying that to me. And for most people, when they're in that place, there's a lot of emotion that's involved. And when emotion's around, it's like a red mist. And I remember the coaching process that we went through. It was just taking you through a sort of a program to bring you back to Gordon Reid. And then from there, it's credit to you for putting all the steps in place, because that opportunity that you thought was going to be the next best thing, we spoke off camera. When you look back now, not doing that was probably
the best thing.
The best thing. And that's the whole thing with these crucible moments in life, where we think we faced with our worst nightmare. But quite often when we look back over time, so temporal perspective is just perspective over time. We go, wow, that was actually the best thing that ever happened. And for you, not doing it was the best thing that ever happened. Where in that moment, this was your big break, you know? But it could have been your worst mistake.
COVID closed that door.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could well have ended up another way. We always talk about those sliding door moments. And another massive one that I had age 22 was I had a berth on a yacht to do the Cape to Rio yacht race. And I met my wife.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't go. That was me. I was going overseas. I wanted to travel the world on yachts and
but I don't think
not come
life
back.
is full of all these, people call them coincidental things. They're not coincidence.
No.
When you look back, it's like Steve Jobs said, you can only connect the dots when you look back.
Yeah.
And that's like life.
But exactly. You can't prescribe that. You don't know that. But taking advantage of every single opportunity is going to bring the happiness and the satisfaction and the...
Absolutely. Well, my man, I'm so happy that it's all worked out so well for you. And there's probably so much more to come. Really chuffed at that award. Well done. That's incredible. I did not know about it.
Thank you.
But I think it's been a great chat. If we can just leave one message out there for the people who are listening in, and I'm thinking off the seat of my pants now, one bit of advice for people who maybe are feeling flat or living an unfulfilled life, where they need that just little bit of advice to get up and grab life by the balls, so to speak. What would you say to people? What is Gordon Reid's approach to living a fulfilled life?
I would say, it's a tough one, hey, because I've done quite a bit and I couldn't put one finger on it. But I'd have to say, health is the new wealth, or health is wealth. And it does sound like a cliche, but, my dad was 67 when he passed away. My mum was 68. My niece was 17. And I see it in financial advisory nowadays. Is so many people work their absolute asses off, and I don't have time for that. You need to make time for your health, because else you're going to get to retirement. You might have all the money in the world, and you will not be able to enjoy that money. So my parting point would have to be, really, please concentrate on your health. We've got so many stresses and strains nowadays, be it cell phone, be it stuff in our food, be it the idiot on the road on the way to work, be it your boss, your manager, your staff members. We all have stress. We all have a story, but health is a new wealth, and go and exercise, burn that extra adrenaline off, get those endorphins in your system, and find it great.
And even if you can't exercise or you're not able to exercise, you can keep your mind clear as well. You can go and meditate or pray or just take some time in silence. Yeah. And I mentioned it in the book, and believe me, just because I wrote the book doesn't mean I do it. I said to you off camera as well, I haven't had a break this year.
You can't peak all the time.
You got to go through that's why I say, like, one of our conditional thinking challenges is that putting ourselves first is selfish, particularly if you're a parent. Putting myself before my kids is selfish. And I go into a whole chapter on this, on prioritization of time, going, time management's about priorities. And I challenge people to put themselves first. Because as a parent and as a business owner, as a mate, whoever I am, if I'm not operating 80% plus of energy, I'm not giving my best to my business, my kids, my friends. If I'm sitting on a couch drinking wine because my energy levels are 10% and I can't move my body, I'm no good to anybody. So the shift in thinking is, I need to put myself first. I need to find that time to keep myself healthy, to keep myself rested, to conserve my energy, to manage my energy, whatever it may be, and to do the things that I love, even if it's for half an hour or an hour a day. Then I'm doing everybody else a great service as well.
If you need to run at 8 o'clock at night, go run at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
If you need to wake up at 4, do it.
But it's a tough one, because we have, I get it, we all have pressures and we all have people pulling on us all the time.
Accountability partners.
Yeah.
Running clubs.
Yes.
And good coaches.
Yeah. 100%.
That's your secret.
Gordy, thank you so much.
Thanks
it's been an amazing chat. We've literally just drifted the breeze on that chat, and I think it's been hugely valuable. So thank you for your time.
Thank you for yours, and thanks for training me.
Pleasure, man. Pleasure. How can anyone get hold of you if they want to chat to you about discovery or philanthropy? Or
Lucky Gordy on most social channels. I am completely ADHD, so it'll be random as hell. But I think that's part of the fun. Yeah.
But he's not ADHD when he's planning your finances, by the way. He's
Helps.
managing.
It helps.
Does it?
Highly functioning ADHD. I think of the.
You've learned to manage
unthinkable.
it.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much for being here. And everybody, thanks for listening. If you want to grab a copy of the book, head over to thoughtonomybook.co.za and go get yourself a copy. We'll catch you next time. Cheers, everyone.
Thank you.